it's stuck in second gear. You couldn't make this up. I feel sick. There is nothing more expensive than a cheap Range Rover. Owning a Range Rover is like having a second mortgage. You don't own a Range Rover, it owns you and your wallet. If I had £1 for every time I heard something like that, well, I'd probably be able to put fuel in my Range Rover. So can you buy a dirt cheap Range Rover in 2025 and get away with it? Well, today I'm going to take my car on and off-road to find out. First things first though, she's been sitting here a few days, so will she start? Easy. These Range Rovers are truly wonderful. They are lovely places to sit. The driving position is quite frankly unrivaled, but don't take my word for it. The late Queen of England swore by the L322 Range Rover. Even when newer models came out, she would still drive her L322. And then there's the current King of England, Jeremy Clarkson. He still uses his. However, most of us aren't the Queen of England or Jeremy Clarkson, and there's a word in our vocabulary which perhaps isn't in theirs, and that is budget. I like to buy my cars on a budget. I often seek out the highest mileage, cheapest example of a car just so I can experience it. I wouldn't be able to do it any other way. I absolutely adore the noughties generation of luxury performance cars, which, thanks to the good old thing of depreciation, can now be picked up at a fraction of their original price, which is perfect for us mere mortals. But that obviously comes with exceptional risk, regardless of the car that you're buying. But can you follow this formula and get away with it? Is my £2,000 L322 Range Rover reliable? Well, let's pop the gearbox into low range and put the car in off-road air suspension and find out. So shout out to a follower of mine, Matthew, who kindly took me out in his Discovery 3 the other day for a recce of some local green lanes in the Surrey area, and I found one that I like here. Let's see how this £2,000 L322 can handle it. I mean, the good news is the air suspension works absolutely stupendously. The low range gearbox is in action, you see. Can lock it into second gear actually, because it's not too extreme, this one. And these general grabber tyres certainly help for grip on these public byways. And I just think this thing is magnificent. The very fact you can sit here, armrest down, heated steering wheel on, and it just feels like it will go anywhere. Got a nice little mound to go over. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It just does it with ease, this thing. It's just fantastic. We do also, at our disposal, not that it's extreme enough, have hill descent control. So if I flick that, we get the green icon on the dash, and you'll feel the car, I'm not touching anything just to demonstrate, but it will brake by itself. Both my legs are off the brake and you can hear it locking wheels respectively to keep us at a constant speed. In my off-road challenge, a few of you said that I can control the speed of my hill descent via the cruise control buttons here, but for some reason it doesn't seem to work. It press up, nothing happens, press down, nothing happens. So if anyone knows why that is, maybe it's just this generation of car, or if there's another way I can do it, maybe with the gears, I'm not too sure, but it doesn't seem to do anything. But you can see that hill descent control is just keeping us at a lovely steady pace, and it will release here as we go uphill and just give us a bit of, it's just great. It's absolutely fantastic. But listen, we know and we can see that the Range Rover is supreme when it comes to this sort of off-the-road work. But realistically, most of us watching, myself included, drive this car on the road most of the time. So what's it like on there for your £2,000? So let's take it back out of low range into high range, lower it down back into normal road mode, and see what this thing's like on the road. So once you are on the road in your L322 Range Rover, it's extremely soft, as you would expect. It's very spongy, the ride. You can feel that it's on air. It absorbs bumps nicely. It's not like a cloud, but it's very good. Steering's so light. It's one of those sort of steering wheels where you can waft around with a finger or a thumb. Fuel economy, shocking as you'd expect. Today, I reset it before I left, so we've done about 20 miles filming this video. Bit of road stuff, bit of off-roading stuff. Average 12.4 miles per gallon. My long-term average 16.5. Yeah, so not great, is it at all? I mean, having said that, I don't really take this on many long runs. It's mostly local stuff. So I think on a run I've been able to achieve 20, 21 fairly consistently. But all in, yeah, this is not a car you buy for economy. You can obviously opt for a diesel, which will return a number starting with 3, but yeah, petrol V8 is not the way to go if you're concerned about saving your pennies on fuel. But it's just a car that's so charming because it does everything without a fuss, really. It's just, you know, the word wafter, it perfectly summarises it. As I mentioned earlier, the driving position is supreme. My wife's quite short and she loves driving this thing. I think one of the reasons for that is the driving position. You've got such a good commanding view over everything, and there's so much adjustability on the seats. In fact, it's one of those cars, this BMW era of car, a lot of BMWs had this as well, where you can recline the top half of the seat if you want to. Like so. It's very, very cool. And then despite it being a big car, because it's literally just a big cube, it's like a square, it's got 4 corners, it's quite easy to place on the road, doesn't feel too wide, relatively easy to park, although my parking sensors don't help because they've got a little bit of a mind of their own. If you're using it all the time, the fuel thing's not going to be too much of an issue because it's got a 100 litre tank, so very expensive to fill up, but there's a lot of liquid in there, so you will go, even with a atrocious MPG, you will be able to go for over 350 miles quite happily. And technology wise, well, there's not much to write home about. I've got this information page with my consumption, which, to be honest, I don't know why I do it to myself, but I like to watch it. I guess I like to play a little game to see how much consumption I can get if I try. Like I say, it can get to the 20s fairly happily if I'm trying. Here you got radio, CD, and party trick to show them all. Press this button here. Whoa, it's like being in a James Bond movie, revealing a tape player. That really dates this car. Tape player back there. But yeah, amazingly, that still works after 23 years. Very cool. These did come with the TV equipped as well if I go into menu television, but as you see, nothing happens. And I believe it's because the satellite or whatever it was that made this work, it's just not on anymore, so you just can't watch TV in this car. I think you can probably pay to have that retrofitted with the newer system that the later cars use, but it's probably much for much, that's not really worth doing. So yeah, that's really it. You've just got all your normal air conditioning, heated wheel, heated seats. The armrest makes everything in terms of just being able to sit like this. You can have your elbows at the same height and just cruise along. It's a lovely thing, as you would expect, and as you've heard a million times over from people like me and me on YouTube. So is my £2,000 Range Rover reliable? Well, yes, in the sense of, since I've had it, it started every time. It's not really caused me any issues at all. Of course, we had the work done at Glenrans to have the gearbox service, so hopefully that gives me peace of mind in terms of the gearbox. There is still a small chance, and I'm waiting for it to happen, that it's just going to crap its pants and blow up, because it's a possibility when changing oil on such an old car and such an old gearbox that it just might not accept it. There's no warning signs so far, and we did all the due diligence to ensure that it's a small chance of it happening, but it is still a chance nonetheless. So certainly about 3 months into my ownership now and a few miles in the L322, I can say that it has been very reliable. And I'm not making this up, but something funny just happened with the gearbox, literally as I finished that sentence. Put it back into drive. Oh, goodness me, I'm panicking now. It's not changing gear. You are joking. 3rd gear. Oh my gosh. You are joking. It's not in low rep. I think I'm about to burst into tears. D, sport. It's stuck in 2nd gear. You couldn't make this up. I feel sick. It's just stuck in 2nd gear. We're doing 30 miles an hour, 3,000 RPM. nothing. I need to try switching it off and back on and seeing what happens. It just doesn't want to change gear. It like waits until we're at 3,500 RPM to go up into the second gear, and then now it just won't do anything. I've got no warning, no transmission overheating, anything like that. Oh my gosh. Hopefully it starts again. Oh, I can't believe this. Starts fine. Goes into drive fine. Shifted into second fine. Third gear. Fourth gear. And I can select fourth, third. Yeah, okay. Don't want to jinx it, but right now the gearbox is operating as usual. Oh man. Well, the car has made me look an absolute mug. This video was really to sing the praises of the L322, to sort of quieten the naysayers that always are lingering in YouTube comments and Instagram saying, you know, if you buy a Range Rover, you're remortgaging your house, all of these sorts of things. But I'm very concerned that they might prove me wrong. Now, I remember Ross saying at Glenrans that there's a telltale sign to know if these gearboxes are gone, and that's if it has incorrect gear ratio code. So I'm going to limp the car home, I'm going to read it, see if it has that code, and then I'll speak to Ross and we'll go from there. But this could be a disaster, actually.
So you literally couldn't write this. I was filming a video about the reliability of my Range Rover to tell you how amazing it had been. And then right at the end of the filming, the gearbox went into limp mode. Now this is of particular concern because I knew that there was risks associated with doing a gearbox oil change on this car, because as the guys at Glenrans advised me, it can cause the gearbox to fail. Now what I need to do is take the car home, scan it, and see if I have an incorrect gear ratio fault on my scanner, because if I do, well, it probably means that the gearbox is toast. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to find out in my next video with this car the fate of the Range Rover.